Hey, here are 5 stupid things I've noticed since last time. Wetbacks. I've got a cat here in my lap, in case you hear any disembodied purring or you see a tail swishing about. Alaskan Congressman Don Young referred to migrant workers as wetbacks during a recent radio interview. When his casually racist remark provoked outrage, Young explained that wetbacks was a term for Mexican laborers that he heard while growing up as a boy in California, and he didn't realize that it was now considered a racial epithet. Because I'm sure 50 years ago when people referred to someone as a wetback, they didn't mean any disrespect. I probably don't have to tell you that Don Young is a Republican. Unfortunately, even if you had never heard of him before this, I still probably wouldn't have to tell you that Don Young is a Republican. Pat Robertson blames lack of miracles on too much education. On the 700 Club last week, Pat Robertson responded to a question from a viewer about why miracles such as healings and resurrections only seem to happen in places like Africa, as opposed to, I don't know, say, the United States. And Pat responded by saying this.
We're so sophisticated. We think we've got everything figured out. We know about evolution. We know about Darwin. We know about all these things that says God isn't real.
Not all of us. Pope Francis is too nice to women and poor people. Well, that didn't take long. He's only been Pope for a few weeks and already the claws are coming out for Pope Francis. Why? What did he do? Appoint a pedophile to a high Vatican office, deliver a sermon denouncing gays, summarily excommunicate all Catholics who've had abortions? No, actually, he washed some people's feet on Holy Thursday, which popes usually do, but Francis chose to wash the feet of 12 prisoners at a youth detention center in Rome instead of the usual 12 priests. And, making matters worse, 2 of those 12 were Muslims. And 2 of those 12, including one of the Muslims, were women. And that did not sit well at all with church traditionalists. Marcelo Gonzalez, a Catholic blogger from Francis's native Argentina, described the foot-washing fiasco with 2 words: the horror. The Pope touching the feet of a woman? Why, the very idea! And he's not serious about that whole "we will be a church for the poor" bit, right? I mean, he realizes the cardinals will never sit still for that. The main reason most of those guys want to live at the Vatican is to get away from all that "let's help the poor" bullshit. You know, if he's not careful, he's going to ruin it for all of us. Before you know it, we won't even be allowed to fuck kids anymore. Georgia high school holds segregated proms. Speaking of fucking kids, in an entirely different sense, Wilcox County High School in Rochelle, Georgia still holds racially segregated proms. This year, if the organizing and fundraising efforts of some students are successful, the school will hold its first ever integrated prom, but alongside the whites-only prom, not instead of the whites-only prom. Both proms are going to take place off school grounds and they're not directly funded by the school, so technically Wilcox County's hands are clean. But that doesn't make much difference to the students who attend these racially segregated dances where racial separation is strictly enforced. Last year, a biracial student attempted to attend the whites-only homecoming dance and was asked to leave by police. The students leading the effort to hold the integrated prom are 4 girls in the senior class, 2 of whom are white and 2 of whom are black. I wish them all the best of luck, and my advice to all 4 of them is graduate and move somewhere else. Believe me, girls, you will like it so much better in the 21st century. Roger Ebert dies. When Gene Siskel died in 1999, The Onion put up my all-time favorite of their sidebar headlines, Ebert victorious. Unfortunately, all of our victories, no matter how glorious or petty or imagined by satirical newspapers, eventually fade. The news of Ebert's death hit me like a punch in the gut. I didn't know him personally. I never interacted with him. I knew him only through his writing and through watching him on television, but I did watch him and read him for pretty much my entire life. I admired him as a writer, as a thinker, as a person. And I'm going to miss him. The hardest part is only picking 5. Catch you next time.